Recording in progress.
Uncle Vanya, Act 3. The drawing room of Cerebra Brakos' house. There are 3 doors, one to the right, one to the left, and one in the centre of the room. Wojtski and Sonia are sitting down. Helena is walking up and down, absorbed in thought.
We were asked by the professor to be here at 1 o'clock. It's now 1:45. It seems he has some communication to make to the world.
Probably a matter of business.
He never had any business. He writes twaddle, grumbles, and eats his heart out with jealousy. That's all he does.
Uncle.
All right. I beg your pardon. Look at her. Wandering up and down from sheer idleness. Sweet picture, really.
I wonder you are not bored, droning on in the same key from morning till night. I am dying of this tedium. What shall I do?
There is plenty to do if you would.
For instance?
You could help me run this place, teach the children, care for the sick. Isn't that enough? Or you and Papa come. Uncle Vanya and I used to go to the market ourselves to deal in flour.
I don't know anything about such things, and besides, they don't interest me. It's only novels that women can go out and teach and heal the peasants. How can I suddenly begin to do it?
How can you live here and not do it? Wait a while, you'll get used to it all. Don't be sad, dearest. You feel miserable and restless and can't seem to fit into this life, and your restlessness is catching. Look at Uncle Vanya. He knows nothing now but haunt you like a shadow. And I've left my work today to come here and talk with you. I'm getting lazy and don't want to go on with it. Dr. Astroff hardly ever used to come here. It was all we could do to persuade him and visit us once a month. And now he's abandoned his forestry and his practice and comes every day.
Is everybody frozen?
Nope, just you, I think. Hang on. I'm going to pause the... Oops. Nels, are you here or not?
Recording in progress.
Why should you languish here? Come, my dearest, my beauty, be sensible. The blood of Nixie runs in your veins. Oh, won't you let yourself be one? Give your nature the reins for once in your life. Fall head over heels in love with some other water sprite and plunge head first into a deep pool so that the Herr Professor and all of us may have our hands free again.
Leave me alone. How cruel you are.
Oh, there, my beauty. I apologize. Forgive me.
Confess that you would try the patience of an angel.
As a peace offering, I'm going to fetch some flowers which I picked for you this morning. Some autumn roses, beautiful, sorrowful roses.
Autumn roses, beautiful, sorrowful roses.
Sonia and Helena stand looking out of the window.
September already. How shall we live through the long winter here? Where is the doctor?
He's writing in Uncle Vanya's room. I'm glad Uncle Vanya has gone out. I want to talk to you about something.
About what?
About what?
She lays her head on Helena's breast.
There, that will do. Don't, Sonia.
I am ugly.
You have lovely hair.
Don't say that. No, when a woman is ugly, they always say she has beautiful hair or eyes. I've loved him now for 6 years. I have loved him more than one loves one's mother. I seem to hear him beside me every moment of the day. I feel the pressure of his hand on mine. If I look up, I seem to see him coming, as you see. I run to you to talk of him. Here he is every day now, but he never looks at me. He does not notice my presence. It is agony. I have absolutely no hope. No hope. Oh my God, give me strength to endure. I prayed all last night. I often go up to him and speak to him and look into his eyes. My pride is gone. I'm not mistress of myself. Yesterday I told Uncle Vanya I couldn't control myself, and all the servants know it. Everyone knows that I love him.
Does he?
No, never noticed.
He's a strange man. Listen, Sonia, will you allow me to speak to him? I shall be careful, only hint. Really, to be in uncertainty all these years. Let me do it.
Sonia nods an affirmative.
Splendid. It will be easy to find out whether he loves you or not. Don't be ashamed, sweetheart. Don't worry. I shall be careful. He will not notice a thing. We only want to find out whether it is a yes or a no, don't we? And if it is no, then he must keep away from here. Is that so?
Sonia nods.
It will be easier not to see him anymore. We won't put off the examination an instant. He said he had a sketch to show me. Go and tell him at once that I want to see him.
Will you tell me the whole truth?
Of course I will. I am sure that no matter what it is, it will be easier for you to bear than this uncertainty. Trust to me, dearest.
Yes. I shall say that you want to see his sketch. No, it is better not to know, and yet there may be hope.
What do you say?
Nothing.
Sonia goes out.
There is no greater sorrow than to know another secret when you cannot help them. He is obviously not in love with her, but why shouldn't he marry her? She is not pretty, but she is so clever and pure and good. She would make a splendid wife for a country doctor of his years. I can understand how the poor child feels. She lives there, here in this desperate loneliness with no one around her except those colourless shadows that go mooning about, talking nonsense and knowing nothing except that they eat, drink and sleep. Among them appears from time to time this Dr. Astroff, so different, so handsome, so interesting, so charming. It is like seeing the moon rise on a dark night. Oh, to surrender oneself to his embrace, to lose oneself in his arms. I'm a little in love with him myself. Yes, I am lonely without him, and when I think of him, I smile. That Uncle Vanya says I have the blood of a Nixie in my veins. Give rein to your nature for once in your life. Perhaps it is right that I should. Oh, to be free as a bird, to fly away from you all your sleepy faces and your talk, and forget that you have existed at all. But I am a coward. I'm afraid. My conscience torments me. He comes here every day now. I can guess why and feel guilty already. I should like to fall on my knees at Sonia's feet and beg her forgiveness and weep.
Astroff comes in carrying a portfolio.
How do you do? Want to see my sketch?
Yes, you promised to show me what you'd been doing. Have you time now?
Of course I have.
He lays the portfolio on the table, takes out the sketch, and fastened it to the table with thumbtacks.
Where were you born?
In St. Petersburg,
And educated?
at the conservatory there.
You don't find this life very interesting, I dare say.
Oh, why not? It is true I don't know the country very well, but I have read a great deal about it.
I have my own desk there in Ivan's room. Then I'm absolutely too exhausted to go on. I drop everything and rush over here to forget myself this work for an hour or two. Ivan and Miss Sonia sit rattling at their counting boards, the cricket chirps, and I sit beside them and paint. Really warm and peaceful. Yeah. But I don't permit myself this luxury very often, only once a month. Look there. That is a map of our country as it was 50 years ago. The green tints, both dark and light, represent forests. Half the map that you see is covered with it. Where the green is striped with red, the forests were inhabited by elk and wild goats. Here on this lake live great flocks of swans and geese and ducks. Just the old men say, there was a tower of birds of every kind. Now they've vanished like a cloud. Beside the hamlets and villages, you see, I've dotted down here and there with various settlements, farms, hermits' caves, and wooden mills. This country carried a great many cattle and horses, as you can see by the quantity of blue paint. For instance, see how thickly it lies in this part. There were great herds of them there, average of 3 horses to every house. Now, look lower down. This is the country as it was 25 years ago. Only a third of the map is green now with forests. There are no goats left, no elk. The blue paint is lighter, and so on and so on. Now we come to the third part. Our country as it appears today. We still see spots of green, but not much. The elk, the swan, the black cock have disappeared. It is on the whole a picture of a regular and slow decline, which it will evidently take about 10 or 15 years more to complete. And I've lost my place, just a sec. You may perhaps object that it is the march of progress, that the old order must give place to the new. And you may be right if roads had been run through these ruined woods, or if educated and healthier and richer. But as it is, we have nothing of the sort. We have the same swamps and the mosquitoes, the same disease and want, the typhoid, the diphtheria, the burning villages. We're confronted by the degradation of our country, brought on by the fierce struggle for existence of the human race. Is the consequence of the ignorance and the unconsciousness of starving, shivering, sick humanity that to save its children instinctively snatches at everything that can warm it and still its hunger. So it destroys everything it can lay its hands on without a thought tomorrow. When almost everything is gone and nothing has been created to take its place. I see by your face, I'm not interested in you.
I know so little about such things.
There's nothing to know. It simply isn't interesting, that's all.
Frankly, my thoughts were elsewhere. Forgive me. I want to submit you to a little examination, but I am embarrassed and I don't know how to begin.
An examination?
Yes, but quite an innocent one. Sit down. It is about a certain young girl I know. Let us discuss it like honest people, like friends, and then forget what has passed between us, shall we?
Very well.
It is about my stepdaughter, Sonia. Do you like her?
Yes, I respect her.
Do you like her as a woman?
No, no.
One more word and that will be the last. Have you not noticed anything?
No, nothing.
You do not love her. I see that in your eyes. She is suffering. You must realize that and not come here anymore.
my son has said. Yes, and I haven't the time. Where shall I find time for such things?
Ah, what an unpleasant conversation. I am as out of breath as if I had been running 3 miles uphill. Thank heaven that is over. Now let us forget everything as if nothing had been said. You are sensible, you understand. I'm actually blushing.
If you had spoken a month ago, I might perhaps have considered it. But now, of course, if she's suffering, I can't understand why you had to put me through this examination. Huh? Oh, you are wily.
What does this mean?
You are a wily one. You admit that Sonia is suffering. But what does this examination of yours mean? Please don't put on such a look of surprise. You know perfectly well why I come here every day. Yes, you know perfectly why, and for whose sake I come. Oh, my sweet tigress, don't look at me that way. I'm an old bird.
A tigress? I don't understand you.
Beautiful, sleek tigress, you must have your victims. For a whole month, I've done nothing but seek you eagerly. I've thrown over everything for you, and you love to see it. Now then, I'm sure you knew all this without putting me through your examination. I surrender. Here, you have me. Now, eat me.
You have gone mad.
You are afraid.
I'm a better and stronger woman than you think me. Goodbye.
She tries to leave the room.
Why, goodbye. Don't say goodbye. Don't waste words. Oh, how lovely you are. What hands.
Enough of this. Leave the room. You have forgotten yourself.
Tell me, where can we meet tomorrow? Don't you see? We must meet. It is inevitable.
He kisses her. Voitsky comes in carrying a bunch of roses and stops in the doorway.
Have pity. Leave me. Don't.
Be in the forest tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Will you? Will you?
Let me go. This is appalling.
Nothing.
Voitsky throws the flowers on a chair and speaks in great excitement, wiping his face with his handkerchief.
Nothing. Yes, yes, nothing.
The weather is fine today, my dear Ivan. The morning was overcast and looked like rain, but now the sun is shining again. Honestly, we have had a very fine autumn, and the wheat is looking fairly well. But the days are growing short.
You must do your best. You must use all your power to get my husband and myself away from here today. Do you hear? I say this very day.
All right. Helena, I saw everything.
Do you hear me? I must leave here this very day.
Serebrikov, Sonia, Marina, and Telegin come in.
I am not very well myself, Your Excellency. I have been limping for 2 days and my head. Where are the others? I hate this house. It is a regular labyrinth. Everyone is always scattered through the 26 enormous rooms. One never can find a soul. Ding, 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 ding. Ask my wife and Madame Voitskaya to come here.
I am here already.
Please, all of you, sit down.
What did he say?
I'll tell you later.
You were moved. I understand. He said he would not come here anymore. Tell me, did he?
Helena nods.
One can, after all, become reconciled to being an invalid, but not to this country life. The ways of it stick in my throat, and I feel exactly as if I'd been whirled off the earth and landed on a strange planet. Please be seated, ladies and gentlemen. Sonia! Sonia! She does not hear me. Sit down too, nurse. I crave your indulgence, ladies and gentlemen. Hang your ears, if I may say so, on the peg of attention.
Oh, perhaps you do not need me. May I be excused?
No, you are needed now more than anyone.
What is it you want of me?
You? But what are you angry about? If it is anything I have done, I ask you to forgive me.
Oh, drop that. Come to business. What do you want?
Madame Voitskaya comes in.
Here is honor. Ladies and gentlemen, I shall begin. I have asked you to assemble here, my friends, in order to discuss a very important matter. I want to ask you for your assistance and advice, and knowing your unfailing amiability, I think I can count on both. I am a bookworm and a scholar, and am unfamiliar with practical affairs. I cannot, I find, dispense with the help of well-informed people such as you, Ivan, and you, Telegin, and you, Mother. The truth is, manet omnes una nox, that is to say, our lives are in the hands of God, and as I am old and ill, I realize that the time has come for me to dispose of my property in regard to the interests of my family. My life is nearly over, and I am not thinking of myself, but I have a young wife and daughter. I cannot continue to live in the country. We were not made in the country life, and yet we cannot afford to live in town on the income derived from this estate. We might sell the woods, but that would be an expedient we could not resort to every year. We must find some means of guaranteeing to ourselves a certain more or less fixed yearly income. With this object in view, a plan has occurred to me, which I now have the honor of presenting to you for your consideration. I shall only give you a rough outline, avoiding all detail. Our estate does not pay on an average more than 2% on the money invested. I propose to sell it. If we then invest our capital in bonds, it will earn us 4 to 5%, and we should probably have a surplus of several thousand rubles, with which we could buy a summer cottage in Finland.
Hold on. Repeat what you just said. I don't think I heard you quite right.
I said we would invest the money in bonds and buy a cottage in Finland with the surplus.
Oh, no, not Finland. You said something else.
I propose to sell this place.
Ha! That was it. So, you are going to sell the place, huh? Splendid! The idea is a rich one. And what do you propose to do with my old mother and me and with Sonia here?
That will be decided in due time. We can't do everything at once.
Oh, hey, it is clear that until this moment I have never had a grain of sense in my head. I had always been stupid enough to think that the estate belonged to Sonia. My father bought it as a wedding present for my sister. I foolishly imagined that as our laws were made for Russians and not Turks, my sister's estate would come down to her child.
Of course it is Sonia's. Has anyone denied it? I don't want to sell it without Sonia's consent. On the contrary, what I am doing is for Sonia's good.
This is absolutely incomprehensible. Either I have gone mad or...
Jean, don't contradict Alexander. Trust to him. He knows better than we what is right and what is wrong.
Oh, I shan't. Give me some water. Go ahead. Say anything you please. Anything.
I can't imagine why you are so upset. I don't pretend that my scheme is an ideal one, and if you all object to it, I shall not insist. I not only nourish feelings of respect toward learning, Your Excellency, but I am also drawn to it by family ties. My brother Gregory's wife's brother, whom you may know, his name is Konstantin Lakedemonov, and he used to be a magistrate.
Oh, stop, Waffles. This is business. Wait a bit. We'll talk of that later. There. Now, ask him what he thinks. This estate was bought from his uncle.
Ah! Why should I ask questions? What good would it do?
The price was 95,000 rubles. My father paid 70 and left a debt of 25. Now listen, this place could never have been bought had I not renounced my inheritance in favour of my sister, whom I deeply loved. And what is more, I worked for 10 years like an ox and paid off the debt.
I regret ever having started this conversation.
Thanks entirely to my own personal efforts, the place is entirely clear of debts. And now, when I've grown old, you want to throw me out, neck and crop.
I can't imagine what you're driving at.
For 25 years I have managed this place, and I have sent you the returns from it, like the most honest of servants, and you have never given me one single word of thanks for my work, not one. Neither in my youth nor now. You allowed me a meagre salary of 500 rubles a year, a beggar's pittance, and I have never even thought of adding a ruble to it.
What did I know about such things, Ivan? I am not a practical man and don't understand them. You might have helped yourself to all you wanted.
Yes, why did I not steal? Don't you all despise me for not stealing, when it would have only been justice, and I should not now have been a beggar?
Jean,
Vanya, old man, don't talk in that way. Why spoil such pleasant relations? Do stop.
For 25 years I have been sitting here with my mother like a mole in a burrow. Our every thought and hope was yours, and yours only. By day we talked with pride of you and your work. We spoke your name with veneration. Our nights we wasted reading the books and papers which my soul now loathes.
Don't, Vanya, don't. I can't stand it. What under heaven do you want anyway?
We used to think of you as almost Superman. But now the scales have fallen from my eyes and I see you as you are. You write on art without knowing anything about it. Those books of yours, which I used to admire, are not worth one copper kopeck. You are a hoax.
Can't anyone make him stop? I'm going.
Ivan, I command you to stop this instant. Do you hear me?
I refuse.
Sir Oberkopf tries to get out of the room, but Voitsky bars the door.
Wait, I have not done yet. You have wrecked my life. I have never lived. My best years have gone for nothing, have been ruined, thanks to you. You are my most bitter enemy.
I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I'm going.
He goes out and grows
What do
excited.
you want? What earthly right have you to use such language to me? Ruination. If this estate is yours, then take it and let me be ruined.
I'm going away out of this hell this minute. Oh, this is too much.
My life has been a failure. I am clever, brave, strong. If I had lived a normal life, I might have become another Schopenhauer or Dostoevsky. I'm losing my head. I'm going crazy. Mother, I am in despair. Mother!
Listen, Alexander. Sonia falls on her knees beside the nurse and nestles against her.
Oh, nurse, nurse.
Mother, what shall I do? But no, don't speak. I know what to do. And you will understand me.
He goes out through the door in the centre of the room, and Madame Voitskaya follows him.
Tell me, what on earth is the matter? Take this lunatic out of my sight. I cannot possibly live under the same roof with him. His room, is almost next door to mine. Let him take himself off into the village or into the wing of the house, or I shall leave here at once. I cannot stay in the same house with him.
We are leaving today. We must get ready at once for our departure.
What a perfectly dreadful man!
On her knees beside the nurse and turning to her father, Sonia speaks with emotion.
You must be kind to us, Papa. Uncle Vanya and I are so unhappy. Have pity on us. Remember how Uncle Vanya and Granny used to copy and translate your books for you every night? Every night. Uncle Vanya has toiled without rest. He would never spend a penny on us. We sent it all to you. We've not eaten the bread of idleness. I'm not saying this as I should like to, but you must understand us, Papa. You must be merciful to us.
For heaven's sake, Alexander, go and have a talk with him. Explain.
Very well. I shall have a talk with him, but I won't apologize for a thing. I'm not angry with him, but he must confess that his behavior has been strange, to say the least. Excuse me. I shall go to him.
He goes out through the centre door.
Be gentle with him. Try to quiet him.
Helena follows him out.
Nurse, oh nurse. Oh, it's all right, my baby. When the geese have cackled, they will be still again. First they cackle, then they stop. Nurse, you're trembling all over as if you were freezing. There, little orphan baby. God is merciful. And a little light and tea, and it will pass away. Don't cry, my sweetest. See, the geese have all gone now. The devil take them.
A shot is heard. Helena screams behind the scenes. Sonia shudders.
Bang! What's that?
Hold him! Hold him! He has gone mad!
Helena and Voitsky are seen struggling in the doorway.
Give it to me. Give it to me, I tell you.
Helena tries to wrestle the bomb.
Let me go, Helena! Let me go! Where is he? Ha ha! There he is!
He shoots at him.
I didn't get him. I missed again. Damnation! Damnation! To hell with him!
He flings the revolver on the floor and drops helpless into a chair. Serebrakov stands as if stupefied. Helena leans against the wall, almost fainting.
Take me away. Take me away. I can't stay here. I can't.
Oh, what shall I do? What shall I do?
Oh, nurse, nurse.
The curtain falls.